Hello everybody and welcome to Planet Zoo. Yes, I know, I'm a little behind everybody else on this one, but I've managed to get it before the end of the beta embargo, which is going to be in, well, I'm recording this on the 5th, I've got till the 8th to get anything recorded that I want to record and get it out on the channel, so I'm going to possibly be putting quite a lot of content out on this over the next few days. So anyway, yes, this is Planet Zoo, it's by Frontier. And they have provided us with beta keys. So I'm going to just jump straight in and have a little look. By the way, it is beta, so expect possible bugs because obviously they're still trying to squash them out before release, as usual with early access. So it's saying that we need to create an avatar, so I'm going to just go on and do that. If you will let me click on you. There we go. Well, that doesn't look much like me, does it? No. That's not me. So firstly, I want to be a female. Okay. I'm still not very much like me. I'm going to randomize you. Again. Maybe a bit more like it, but still. No. Okay. So I'm about that colour. The colour of very pale. What heads have we got? Not many heads. It's maybe a bit more like it. I don't know. Maybe I need to get these sunglasses off so I can see. Large or slim? I'm probably a little slimmer than that, but I'm probably a little fatter than that. So we'll go with the larger one, I think. Anyway, accessories. None. Let's get rid of these glasses. Bodies. That's not a bad shout. Can I get different colour pants? Those are probably the nicest one. Oh man. The hangy belly is not a good look. I'm gonna have a rhino hat. Oh, wow. I think we'll stick with none. Right, hair. That's cute. That's cute. I like that one best, I think. In a slightly darker shade of brown, though, because that's more like me. More like that, I think, at the moment. That's about me. I mean, we could go purple. Oh, that's just random color. No. I'll just go with the brown then. It's fine. Okay, I just get the impression that this is never gonna look. Oh, you got more heads on the slim version. Maybe I'll find one that looks more like me. I don't know. Actually, that might be a more like it. At least face-wise. Oh, that? No. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. It's not easy. It's not easy. Get some hair that maybe looks... Oh, that's quite cool. Oh. Yeah, that looks good. Oh, I can get a slightly larger body on the... Oh, okay. Maybe. This is more clothing though, honestly. Oh, that's quite cute. Just some long pants. This is kind of looking reasonable. And black, maybe? Alright, that looks alright, I think. What are my shoes? Can I change the shoes? No, you always have the same shoes apparently. Oh, they're tied to your... Oh, that's nice. I like that. I'll go with that. I don't think I want the hat. Okay. So that's a good, like... Oh, it's less than 5 minutes on character creation. That's not bad going. Okay. I'm happy with her. Right, so place my avatar's HQ. The HQ is where other players will see your avatar and access any zoos or blueprints you've shared. Position your avatar anywhere on the globe and you can edit your avatar HQ position later. Well, it's got to be in Britain, in Scotland. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to do career mode. Embark on a career in zoo management. Complete varied and increasingly challenging scenarios and see how far you can go. Or franchise. Are you ready to launch your own franchise? Build zoos all around the world, breed animals and release them into the wild, and don't forget about your visitors. Ooh. Oh, I don't know which one I want to do now. Oh, man. We'll start with career. And I'll do a couple of ones, scenario ones, and then we'll maybe move on to franchise once I've maybe learned a bit more. I'm hoping that this will be what will teach me how to do things. So anyway, we're going to go do Goodwin House. So renovated and renamed after its purchase by Bernard Goodwin in the 1980s, Goodwin House has since become one of the most respected zoos in the country. More recently, it's undergone a further renovation to update many of the habitats and facilities, but due to various issues, the work hasn't quite been completed, which is where you come in. Okay. So I've played Planet Coaster a little bit, okay? And it is super in-depth with the building, so I want to see like how similar that is in Planet Zoo, because I found that a little bit overwhelming in Planet Coaster. Not gonna lie, you spend half a day designing a gateway to your park. So we'll see. But I mean, you don't have to. You can use pre-builds. That's not a problem, and that's what I tend to do. And some people get really into it. Oh, this looks lovely.
Ah, heyo at Hematu. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. I have a habit of slipping back into the Planko language. It's good to finally meet you in person. I'm Bernard, although I insist you call me Bernie. The only person who calls me Bernard is my wife. And even then, only when I've tracked elephant dung into the carpets. As you know, I own several zoos, but I always like to show people the ropes here at my home. This is the first zoo I ever opened, and a source of great pride for me. And prides, thanks to a lion breeding program we ran in the 80s. But we're in the middle of a big renovation, and that's where you come in. Sadly, our old contractor had to retire after developing a fur allergy.
Fur allergy.
Sneezing his dentures into the lion habitat. So, it's up to you to finish everything off. Don't worry, though. I'm not completely throwing you in at the deep end. My head keeper, Nancy Jones, will be lending a helping hand. Oh, she's a hard worker, and she'll expect you to be too. But
okay.
I'm sure you'll get along like a house on fire, or even better, one that isn't on fire. Less shouting that way.
Looks stunning from these sort of
Hello there.
views.
From that rosy, fresh face of yours, I'm guessing you're Bernie's new hire. Good. Now, I hope you're ready to ditch your diploma because we're about to get really hands-on. But before we begin the real work, how about we familiarize you with the zoo by learning how to fly around it and visiting some of our beautiful animals? We'll start by popping over and having a look-see at the grizzly bears in their habitat.
No, Nancy Jones, Welsh woman. I was like, I'm trying to place the accent. I'm like, no, that is a very familiar accent. Basic controls. So you can select things with left click. Lovely. You can cancel using escape. You can pan the camera using right click. But I'm using WASD. It seems to be a lot easier for me to do that. Zoom a scroll, rotate with middle mouse. Undo, Control Z, redo, Control Y, raise camera with E, lower camera with Q. I'll probably forget that one. Toggle the free look camera, T, okay. Speed up the free look camera, toggle the flashlight L, pause with P. Change the simulation speed with O. I imagine I can do that down here though. Help F1, save menu F5. I'll have to remember that. I might be able to just... Oh, I don't know what I've clicked on. Don't know what I've clicked on. I figure I can just save it from here though. Yeah, I can save Zoo from the options up there. So that's fine. Alright, so Goodwin House. We've already read this bit there when we were in the main menu. So I need to explore the zoo, firstly, by locating the grizzly bear habitat. Alright. Seems quite a big old zoo. I mean, is this the grizzly bear habitat here, maybe? Let's go see if there's any bears in there. Yes, there are. Hello, grizzly bear habitat. Enter the grizzly bear animal camera.
Grizzly bears, also known as Ursus arctos horribilis, can hibernate for up to 7 months a year.
Wow.
Oh, but then again,
me too.
Given the chance, I think a lot of people would do that too.
Yep.
Select one of the bears and you'll bring up its information panel.
I already did. I'm just one step ahead of you, Nancy Jones.
This is where you can find out all kinds of information about your animal. The most important thing being its overall
I figure that's the
welfare.
animal camera.
You'll learn more about animal welfare today as we go through your objectives. But for now, let's enjoy this magnificent animal. Why don't you select the camera at the bottom of its information panel?
Well, I was about to, but I was listening to you. Oh, look at its cool fur. It looks so
Now,
fluffy.
This is a fantastic way to get a close look at your animals. You can also get this view of an animal by simply double-clicking on it.
Oh, that's a bit easier. Oh, you're so beautiful.
Okay, when you're ready, let's pop over to the other side of the zoo and take a look at the lions. I've marked their location for you to find.
All right, now zooming on out. Get out of animal camera view, and we need to find the lions. I'm not taking the mick out of a Welsh accent. No, 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 no. Lions. Hello. I figure with a big blue thing around it means these are the lions. Hello.
Panthera Leo Leo. All the West African lion to you and me. Lions are the most social of the big cats, and there can be as many as 40 lions in a pride.
That's so cool.
Although prides of that size are pretty rare. As Bernie would say, those lions are awesome. Which is precisely why I handle the training instead these days. Anyway, how about we get started on those objectives? Come on, let's head over to our warthog habitat and see what needs doing there.
All right. Warthog habitat. Where are you, warthogs? Let's go and find you. Oh, elephants. Oh, this looks so beautiful. All of it looks so, so pretty. I think this is the right thing to do, though. This is definitely, like, tutorialing me through it. And that's kind of what I need to start off with, so that I can learn how to play.
As you can see, it's a lovely space for warthogs, but it's missing a certain something. Well, 2 somethings. The warthogs.
Yeah.
So I'd like you to adopt a pair of them. To adopt animals, we need to open the animal market, which is in the animal trading section.
A common warthog,
There we are,
$81.
perfectly splendid warthogs for our
Cheap to
zoo.
half the price.
Just click on them and select Buy from the side menu. Normally the animal exchange would be full of animals, but I've emptied out the market while you learn how it works. The last thing I need is you accidentally ordering a dozen elephants.
Fair enough.
When
Okay,
you
I have
adopt an
adopted them.
animal, it's automatically placed in the trade centre, where they're held until you're ready to move them into their habitat, which, as it happens, you are. So how about you move them into their new home?
There's my trade center. Animals. Send to the zoo. Right here. Send to the zoo.
When you ask for an animal to be moved into a habitat, your caretakers will go to the trade centre, collect your animal and deliver them to your selected habitat. I've marked the trade centre's location, so let's go and watch the caretakers in action.
Where is it then? You say you've marked it. Aha. Right, so they should be like taking the warthogs out now.
Well,
Oh yeah,
as you
there
can
he
see,
is.
those caretakers don't hang about. They'll move those animals to their destination as fast as possible.
Alright, let's
Of
cross.
course, normally we'd have to place the animals into quarantine before moving them into a habitat, but I am assured by a person of good standing that these warthogs are in the very rudest of health.
Rudest of health.
Right, let's get the warthog's habitat finished
I
up
love
so we
her.
can keep them nice and happy. You see, each animal in the zoo has an overall welfare statistic, basically how happy they are. And that overall welfare statistic is itself comprised of 4 different areas: nutrition, social health, habitat, and enrichment.
Nice.
Luckily, if you select an animal, you'll bring up their animal welfare information panel, which we saw earlier, where you can see how they're doing. That way, you'll know exactly what areas need to be addressed. Don't worry if that's a lot to remember. You can always check the
Hungry.
Zoopedia for more information.
They are hungry. Where's their food? Right, those are my
Let's
objectives.
start by making sure we're taking care of the warthog's nutrition welfare. To do this, we'll need to place a food station and a drinking station. Now, each animal requires a different type of feeding station, and for the warthogs, it's a small feeding trough. So let's add one of those and a water bowl.
Small feeding trough. You can just go there. Small water bowl next to it.
Animals also require stimulation to keep them happy. Let's add a lovely mud bath for the warthogs to roll around in.
Mud
That
bath.
bath will count towards their enrichment welfare, specifically their toy enrichment welfare.
Mud bath. Ah, wow, it's huge. Okay, about there.
Oh, nice work. You've got a knack for this, I see.
I'm gonna roll
Now,
around.
Our contractor had to leave in a hurry, so this place is in a pharaoh state. Unfinished thingamajigs and whatsits all over the shop. But the first thing we need to finish is the ostrich habitat. It's over near the hippos.
You're so pretty. I love the fur textures on the animals when you zoom right in on them. They're so detailed. My computer's like... bleh, bleh, bleh. I think it's doing okay. Ish. I apologize if it does stutter at all or anything like that. Okay, so ostriches. Let's go see if we can find them. Oh, I need to come out of animal camera. There we are. Right, ostriches. We are over here. Hello.
Okay, job number 1 here is to add a habitat gate before we complete the barrier. Every habitat needs a habitat gate. After all, how else would the keepers get in and out? Just make sure it's hooked up to the path so the keepers can reach it.
You sound like you've had issues with this before. Looks fine there, I think.
Right. Let's complete the perimeter barrier so we can adopt us some ostriches. I've marked out an area for you to use, so I'd like you to finish off the perimeter using the brick barrier.
Oh no. Oh no. It doesn't curl around as much as I was hoping. I think we might need to undo this. Right, let's have a look. So... okay, this is better. Okay, we're back on track.
Good work.
Wonderful.
Remember, before you can place animals in any habitat, it has to have a full loop of connected barrier.
Right.
Now, you've probably noticed that guests can't actually see into this habitat at the moment. At least not without a stepladder. but seeing as they're banned, I'd like you to select a piece of barrier and swap out the brick for a glass barrier so the guests can see in.
Oh, step ladders are banned, are they? Okay. So I want to select this bit and go delete. And then, no, I don't really want that. Thank you. I want glass barrier. Just replace that little bit there. Oh, wait. That was supposed to be a glass barrier. Ah. This is my problem. I can't build. There we go.
There we go. Adding in more windows gives guests even more opportunities to see the animals in a habitat. It's always best to make sure the guests can get a good view into a habitat from the path they're walking on, because it makes them happy, and because this would be a pretty terrible zoo if they couldn't.
It would be a terrible
The
zoo.
last
You're right.
thing we need to do is to add a donation box. You see, when guests enjoy the view of an animal, they'll make a donation. Just make sure you put them in easy-to-reach places, like near a viewing point. Donation boxes are one of the main sources of income for the zoo, so make sure you remember them.
It's like, why am I making no money in my zoo?
Alright, you've finished the habitat, so it's high time we adopted those ostriches, don't you think?
Yes.
Let's get 4 of them in here.
4 ostriches. Yes. Sounds good. Animal habitat. Animal trading. Animal sale. Many ostriches to send to trading center. 15 years old. Wow. You're very, very old. I don't know how old ostriches get. Another one. And one more.
While we wait for them to be collected by the caretakers and brought to the habitat, you should get it ready for them. Add a suitable feeding station, water station, and an appropriate food enrichment item. It's often best to place things like enrichments and feeding stations near to the habitat perimeter, so guests can get a really good view of the animals.
Oh, okay. So we can put like this slow feeder. Like here. And I got a big old food bowl. I can put that over there. And I got a big old water trough. It's apparently a small one, but it's a big old water trough. Because I said so. It goes pretty well kind of here. It's like half the water's missing out of it. Okay. Oh, it just slightly deforms the landscape there.
Oh,
that's
good
cool.
to see the ostriches have somewhere they can really stretch their legs.
Yes.
Did you know they can actually run at 43 miles per hour? Oh, heaven forbid they ever escape.
You have to track them down on a
The
motorbike.
speed camera fines alone would bankrupt us.
Yeah, because they all have number plates strapped to their
Well,
butts.
Bernie certainly seems impressed. Did he do his speed camera joke? Every time we get an ostrich.
Hey guys.
So, now we've made the ostriches' lives a bit better, let's do the same for the keepers, shall we? To make it easier for the keepers to feed the ostriches and
pretty.
hippos, we should build a new keeper hut. Keeper huts are where the keepers prepare the food for animals, so they should be placed near to the habitats to make sure the keepers don't waste their time walking when they should be looking after the animals.
Alright. Okay. I'm just going to spend my entire time in animal look mode. So we've got 1 male and 3 females for the looks of it. Okay, so we're on to our silver stuff now. Build a keeper hut. Okay, ostriches, I'll say goodbye for now. Okay? You have fun in your enclosure. So they want us to put a keeper hut just here then? Looks like it. A classic small keeper hut. A keeper hut small or a Planet Zoo keeper hut small. I like the classic one myself. Right, so I need to rotate this. That wasn't rotate. I will not be happy until I know how to rotate it. Basic controls, placement controls, rotate, Z plus. Oh, I never would have known that. Never. Okay, Z to rotate. That's fine. Let's get you kind of at least slightly centered. Wonderful!
This keeper hut only has space for one keeper, but the larger keeper hut can allow multiple keepers to prepare food at the same time. Oh, but bear in mind that keeper huts and other staff facilities shouldn't be placed near to areas where there are lots of guests.
All right.
Guests don't like seeing facility buildings, and it can affect their happiness. Negatively. In case that wasn't clear.
Yeah, that was clear. That's fine.
Something that all facilities, shops, and a whole host of other objects need is power. And that obviously includes your newly built keeper hut. So let's place a transformer next to it, shall we?
Oh, another thing the guests don't want to see.
Now, the reason everything has gone blue is because you're using the power heat map. This map allows you to see what is and what isn't powered in your zoo. So once you've placed your transformer, you can click in the bottom left to turn the heat map off. Lovely work. Now the keepers can start using the hut to prepare food, and thanks to where you've put it, they won't need to walk very far to deliver it to the ostriches and hippos.
Wonderful.
Let's get on to your next objective then. Bengal tigers. We want to adopt some, but I'm afraid there's nothing ready for them yet.
Oh no.
Head on over to the plot of land I've marked out. It's not too far away.
Alright, Bengal tigers, here we come. Bengal tigers.
Righty, your next job is to build a habitat. From scratch.
Oh, no.
In concrete, I expect. So go ahead and build it. And don't forget the habitat gate. It's always best to place the habitat gate close to the keeper hut. As it happens, there's one quite near to the trade centre.
So there's a
and make sure the guests will be able to see the tigers.
It says there's a keeper hut. Is that a keeper hut? Go to my initial keeper hut. I think they've got little flags in front of them, so you can see like what they are. So it looks to me like the ones with the little green food things on them. That's a keeper hut. Because obviously there's a lot of different sort of designs and models of them. So it looks to me like there's a keeper hut like right there. So I'm going to want the habitat gate somewhere kind of on this side if I can. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to need, firstly, so we're going to build a barrier. So we've got these ones, and then we've got the ones for the guests to be able to see. So I'm kind of thinking, again, I want to kind of get this to the right angle. And this is where I want to put the habitat gate in. So I'm actually going to go back to habitat. And I'm going to go to, well, we need to be in barriers, I think. And I'm going to go to the habitat gate. I'm going to pop it in just by here. And that way, the keepers can get in. And so then I'm going to probably want to have some glass over here. Just so then people can see. Maybe like 3 panes of glass. I don't know how much the animals need privacy. Then we'll go back to this. Into the corner. Oh, why do I always do this? Always make them too big. Oh, hang on. We can just go around the corner like that. That's fine. Oh, no, we can't. Yeah. I cannot build in this game for toffee. Okay. Let's kind of start it going around the corner there. And we should be able to get it going there. And then I'm going to do a glass pane going around there. I know. That's awesome, huh? Nothing like a nice straight wall. And this is nothing like a nice straight wall. I know, I'm as bad as that zookeeper guy. I know it, you know it, we all know it. This is not very straight. Can I sort of... I can kind of go like above. The problem is this is not in line with that. Oh, I'm doing a good job of putting perspex by the visitor bit. Oh yeah. How cool am I? I'm gonna need to kind of go around the corner here as well. Kind of like these bendy walls, actually. They're pretty good. And hopefully we'll be able to make it line up. Wahaha.
Now, Bernie takes safety very seriously at his zoos.
There's
so
my
we should
tiger
probably make
enclosure.
sure those tigers can't jump out of their habitat, don't you think? The way we'll do it is by changing the height of the habitat's barrier.
Oh, okay.
Okay then, you should start by double-clicking the habitat barrier, which will take you into barrier editing mode.
Right.
Great. Now highlight the entire perimeter of the habitat. You can do that by clicking and dragging the barrier selection tool. Now you've got all of the perimeter selected, you can increase the height of it by clicking and dragging the barrier height tool upwards. You'll want to make sure it reaches a minimum height of 4 meters.
Yeah, I'm getting it now. Alright. And it needs to be 4 meters tall. That'll do.
Okay, that's the habitat boundary complete, the habitat gate in place, and most importantly, the tigers won't be able to jump out of it anymore. I think it's time we adopted those tigers.
That's kind of cool, actually, in the end. It ended up pretty cool. Right, let's get the tigers. How exciting is that? Tigers for us. Right. Whoosh, they're expensive. They're much more expensive than ostriches and warthogs. How much money do I have? Oh, it's giving me loads of money. Okay. So make sure I can do everything. Send to the zoo. Also, send to the zoo.
Whilst our trusty caretakers collect and deliver the tigers, let's take a look at preparing the habitat for their arrival. We'll start with the basics. Add a suitable feeding station for them.
Okay, they can sort of look out over that lakey bit while they
This
eat their
time,
food.
instead of adding a water bowl, let's try something different.
Let's give them a
Some
lake.
animals need a pool in their habitat so they can go for a
I
swim, but
knew
they
that.
can also use it to drink from. All you have to do is make sure the banks of the pool have a gentle slope so they can easily get a nice, refreshing drink. There's already a pool excavated, but you still need to fill it with water. You should do that by going into terrain and selecting the water tool.
Terrain. Where's terrain? There. Water tub. Water.
Yes, that'll do nicely. Of course, just like the warthogs and ostriches, these tigers will also need some enrichment. Why don't you add some suitable toy and food enrichment items into their habitat?
Gladly. They get a frozen blood pumpkin and a rubbing pad. Alright then. Where should we put your rubbing pads? Maybe there. That looks quite nice. You can rub against that and have some frozen blood to drink.
Okay, it's really starting to take shape.